My dear child, there are moments in life when everything around you goes quiet. Not because the world has stopped, but because something deep inside you needs to hear a truth so important that all the noise simply has to wait. This is one of those moments. Right now, in this stillness, I want you to know that you are not here by accident. You did not stumble upon these words by chance. You were led here because there is something I have been waiting to say to you, something your heart has needed to hear for a very long time. You have been walking through this life carrying a weight that was never meant to be yours. Every single morning, before you even open your eyes fully, the heaviness is already there waiting for you. The worries, the fears, the memories of your failures, the uncertainty about your future, all of it piling on top of you before your feet even touch the floor. And you do what you have always done. You take a deep breath, you put on your brave face, and you tell yourself, just get through today. Just survive today. And maybe, just maybe, tomorrow will be better. But tomorrow comes, and the weight is still there. The battle is still there. And you are still tired. Deeply, completely, bone. Tired in a way that a good night of sleep cannot fix. Because this tiredness lives in your soul, not just your body. Here is what I want you to understand right from the very beginning of this conversation. The reason you are exhausted, the reason you keep struggling with the same battles, the reason your prayers sometimes feel like they are bouncing off the ceiling and coming right back down to you. It is not because you are weak. It is not because you are a bad person. It is not because I have forgotten you or walked away from you. It is because you have been trying to fight a spiritual war with human weapons. And that, my beloved child, simply does not work. You have something living inside of you that most people never fully understand or use. When I created you and breathed life into you, I did not just give you lungs and a heartbeat. I placed my very own spirit inside of you. The same spirit that hovered over the dark waters at the very beginning of creation. The same power that rolled that stone away from the tomb on resurrection morning. That power, that living, breathing, world-changing power, is not stored somewhere far away in heaven. It lives inside of you, right now, in this very moment. And yet somehow, you have been living like a child who has a mansion, but sleeps outside on the porch. You have access to everything, but you are choosing to live on nothing. You are a child of the most powerful king who has ever existed, and you are living in spiritual poverty. Not because the riches are not available to you, but because you have forgotten they are yours. Think about the battles you are fighting right now. That addiction that you keep trying to break through sheer willpower. That anger that rises up inside you so fast, it surprises even you. That fog of sadness that rolls in sometimes and makes everything feel gray and hopeless. That temptation that you keep swearing you will beat this time. And then you fall again, and the shame is worse than before. You have been trying to fight all of these things with human strength. You have tried self-help books. You have tried positive thinking. You have gritted your teeth and said, "Today is the day I am going to be stronger." And for a while, maybe it works. But then it falls apart again. Do you want to know why? Because these are not just bad habits. These are not just personality flaws you can fix with enough determination. These are spiritual forces, and they must be met with spiritual power. You cannot put out a fire with gasoline, no matter how much you believe in yourself. The tool must match the battle. If you have been finding this message helpful and life-changing, please take a moment right now to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell, so you never miss a message. These words are for you, and there is so much more ahead. Now, here is a truth I want to sink deep into your heart. The same power that brought Jesus back from the dead is available to you today. Not tomorrow. Not when you get your life together. not when you become a better person. Right now, today, this is not poetry. This is not a beautiful saying someone stitched onto a pillow. This is a living, breathing, active reality. The power that conquered sin, smashed the gates of death, and set prisoners free. That power is like a live current running through the spirit of every person who belongs to me. And it belongs to you. But here is the honest truth. You are not using it. You have been given access to the power of the sun, and you are trying to light your life with a little candle. You have been given a connection to the greatest power source in all of existence, and you keep trying to run on a tiny battery that dies every day. It is time to plug in. It is time to stop surviving and start living in the fullness of what I have already placed inside of you. So how does this actually work in your real life? It begins with how you pray, because somewhere along the way, your prayers changed. In the beginning, you prayed with a boldness and an expectation that was beautiful. You believed that I heard you. You believed that I would answer. But over time, after some prayers seemed to go unanswered, after waiting that felt like forever, your prayers became smaller. They became hesitant. They became full of doubt dressed up as humility. God, if it is your will. Lord, if you could maybe. I am not sure if I deserve this, but perhaps. I need you to hear this clearly. I am not moved by begging. I am moved by faith. I am not asking you to demand things from me as if I am a vending machine. But I am calling you to pray from a position of authority, not from a position of poverty. You are not a beggar standing outside my door hoping I will toss you a few crumbs. You are my child, seated at my table, with access to everything in my house. Pray like it. Speak to those mountains in your life. The debt, the sickness, the broken relationship, the impossible situation, and command them to move. Not in your own name, but in mine. Because the authority I have given you is real, and it is time you started using it. And then there is my word. The Bible that is sitting on your shelf, or the app on your phone that you have not opened in weeks. My word is not just a book of nice stories and moral lessons. It is a weapon. It is the sharpest, most powerful sword in all of existence. And you have been walking into a war zone every single day completely unarmed. The enemy speaks lies to you constantly. He whispers that you are a failure, that things will never change, that you are too far gone, that nobody really loves you, that the future is hopeless. And because you do not know my truth, you have no comeback. The lies just land and they stick. But when you know what I have said, everything changes. When the enemy whispers fear, you can shout back that I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. When he tells you that you are alone, you can declare that I will never leave you, not ever. When he says your situation is hopeless, you can remind him and yourself that all things are possible with me. This is how the battle is won. Not by being brave enough or smart enough or strong enough, but by knowing what I have said and speaking it out loud with conviction. This is your spiritual authority, and I am calling you today to stand up and use it. Stop living like a victim. Stop living like an orphan wandering through life with no family, no home, no inheritance. You have a father. You have a home. You have an inheritance that is more vast and more beautiful than anything you can imagine. It is time to start living like it. Now I want to talk to you about your words, because this matters more than you might realize. You might think that the things you say are just venting, just being real, just telling it like it is. But I need you to understand something that will completely change how you see your own mouth. Your words are not just descriptions of your reality. They are forces that shape your reality. Think about how I created the world. I spoke it into existence. I said, let there be light, and there was light. I said, let the waters gather, and they gathered. I spoke, and reality responded. And you, my beloved, are made in my image, which means your words carry a weight and a power that you have been completely unaware of. You have been speaking without realizing that every word out of your mouth is a seed going into the ground of your life. Now listen to the seeds you have been planting. I will never get out of this debt. I am always sick. Nothing ever works out for me. My kids are headed down a terrible path. I am such a failure. I can't do anything right. Every time you speak these things, you are not just describing your life. You are agreeing with the enemy and declaring his vision for your future over yourself. You are literally planting seeds of defeat, sickness, and failure into the soil of your own story. And then you wonder why that is the harvest you keep reaping. I want to tell you something directly. You have been watering the weeds in your life with your own mouth. When the enemy whispers a lie to you, and you pick it up and speak it out loud, you become his partner. You are doing his work for him. He does not even have to work that hard, because you are agreeing with everything he says. My word says it plainly. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. This is not a suggestion. This is a spiritual law as real and as consistent as gravity. Every single day with your words you are choosing. You are choosing life or choosing death. You are choosing blessing or choosing a curse over your own future. So starting right now, I need you to make a radical change in what comes out of your mouth. Not because I want you to pretend your problems do not exist. Not because I want you to smile and lie about how you are doing, but because I want your words to align with my truth instead of the enemy's lies. When your body feels sick, open your mouth and declare, "By his wounds I am healed." When the bank account is empty, declare, "My God will supply every need I have." When fear rises up, declare, "I have not been given a spirit of fear." When your family is in chaos, declare, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." This is not denial. This is faith. This is you taking what I have said and making it louder than what the enemy is saying. Your breakthrough is tied to your words. Your reality will not shift until your language does. Put a guard over your mouth. Stop partnering with darkness through your own declarations. Start speaking life and watch what begins to happen. Please take a moment right now and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. And share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Someone you know is struggling and needs these words. Your simple act of sharing could change someone's entire life. Now there is something else we need to talk about. Something that might be the real reason you feel like a hypocrite. Every time you try to pray, every time you try to declare my promises, there is a voice in the back of your mind that says, "You do not have the right to say these things. You know what you have done. You know what you are still doing." And because of that voice, you go quiet. You shrink back. You feel like there is a wall between us that you cannot get through. I know about the secret. Yes, that one. The one your heart just jumped at when I said it. The thing you do when no one is watching. The habit you cannot seem to break. The website, the relationship, the hidden bitterness. The anger you carry toward someone who hurt you. The part of your past that you have buried so deep you almost never let yourself think about it. You have convinced yourself that you have hidden it well. But I was there. I have seen all of it, and I am still here. Here is the most important thing I need you to understand about your sin. It has not made me stop loving you. Not for one single second. My love for you is not based on your performance. It does not increase when you do well and decrease when you fall. It is constant. It is fierce. It is completely unconditional. And it has not moved. But the enemy has used your sin to build a wall in your mind. He has used it to convince you that you are too dirty to come to me. Too far gone to be forgiven. And so instead of running to me, you have been running away from me. You stop praying because it feels fake. You stop reading my word because the conviction is too painful. You try to clean yourself up on your own before you come back to me, as if you can somehow earn your way back into my presence. I need you to hear this, because it is the truth that sets you free. You cannot clean yourself. You were never meant to. Trying to get yourself right before coming to me is like trying to wash mud off with more mud. The only thing that can make you clean is my grace. The only place where the shame disappears is in my presence. And the only way to get clean is to run toward me, not away. My son's blood was not a partial payment. It was not a deposit with more to be paid later. It was a complete, total, final payment for every sin you have ever committed and every sin you ever will commit. The sin you committed last week, the one you are struggling with right now, the one you are afraid you might fall into again. He saw all of it on the cross, and he paid for all of it. It is finished. Those words he spoke from the cross were not just his last breath. They were the declaration of a completed transaction. The price is paid in full, so stop punishing yourself. Stop this cycle of guilt and shame and penance, and trying to earn what I am offering you as a completely free gift. You cannot add to what has already been done. You cannot make yourself more worthy through suffering. All you can do is receive what I am handing you right now. And it is the simplest thing in the world. From the quiet of your heart right now, just say it honestly. Father, I was wrong. I sinned. I am sorry. Forgive me. I need you. I receive your forgiveness right now. That is it. That is all it takes. The moment you say that with a sincere heart, it is done. The wall is gone. The shame is gone. I take that sin and throw it into the deepest sea, and I remember it no more. Not because I have a bad memory, but because I have made a choice to separate you from your sin, as far as the east is from the west. Now you must make the same choice. Stop holding on to what I have already let go of. Receive your freedom. Feel the chains break. Stand up and walk in the grace that is yours. Now let us talk about something that is quietly destroying you, and you might not even see it. You have been trying to heal alone. You have been fighting your battles in isolation, and it is making everything harder and darker than it needs to be. I did not design you to live this way. My family, my body of believers, is not just a building you go to once a week. It is a living, breathing community of people who are meant to carry each other's burdens, speak truth into each other's lives, and hold each other up when the weight gets too heavy. But you have built walls around your heart. At church you smile and say you are fine. Around your friends you keep the conversation light, never letting anyone get close enough to see the real battle you are in. You are performing wellness while dying quietly on the inside. And the longer you do this, the lonelier it gets, and the more convinced you become that no one would understand anyway. So why bother? I want to tell you something that might surprise you. Those people I have placed in your life are not there by accident. That friend who called last week and you did not pick up because you did not have the energy to pretend everything was fine. That was me reaching out to you. That family member who gently asked if you were really okay and you brushed off with a quick "yes, I'm fine." That was me trying to open a door for you. That person at your church who offered to pray with you, and you politely declined. That was my provision standing right in front of you. You have been pushing away the very people I sent to help you, because you are afraid. Afraid they will see your mess. Afraid they will judge you. Afraid that if they knew the real you, they would walk away. And I understand that fear. I do. But I need you to hear this. A real brother or sister in my kingdom, someone who truly walks with me, will not just make you feel comfortable in your struggle. They will love you enough to tell you the truth. They will love you enough to say, "I see what is happening, and I care about you too much to stay quiet. That is not judgment. That is love. At the same time, I need to speak honestly about some of the voices you have been listening to. Not everyone who speaks into your life is speaking from me. There are voices around you that sound warm and accepting, but are actually pulling you further from where you need to be. The friend who always says, "Oh, come on. It is not that big of a deal. God understands." The person online who has built a whole platform around justifying the very things that are keeping you in chains. The coworker who fuels your bitterness and feeds your victim story and calls it support. These voices are comfortable. They feel like grace, but they are leading you toward a cliff while telling you everything is fine. True grace does not leave you where it found you. True love tells you the truth, even when it is uncomfortable. I am asking you right now to bring your relationships before me. Ask me to show you who is who. Ask me for the discernment to know which voices are from me and which ones are slowly leading you off the path. I will show you. I will give you the wisdom. You need people around you who will both hold you up and hold you accountable. That combination is what I have designed for your growth, and it is what your soul is hungry for. Now I want to talk about something deeply personal. I want to talk about last night. You thought you were completely alone. The lights were low, or maybe completely off, and you turned your face away so no one would hear you cry. But I was in that room with you. I was there in the dark, and my heart was breaking right along with yours. I saw the anguish on your face. I felt the trembling in your soul. You looked at your situation, at that mountain that has not moved no matter how much you have prayed, and you felt something that went deeper than sadness. You felt foolish. You felt foolish for having hoped, foolish for believing that things could actually be different. And in that moment, you felt more alone than you have felt in a very long time. I need to tell you that the feeling of being alone in that moment was the most powerful lie the enemy has ever told you. Because I was closer to you in that moment than your own heartbeat. I was with you when that prayer you tried to pray was not even really a prayer. It was just a broken sound, a sigh from somewhere so deep inside you that it had no words. You whispered, "I can't. I just can't do this anymore." And that right there, that broken, exhausted, wordless cry, was one of the most powerful prayers I've ever heard from you. I do not need beautiful sentences. I do not need perfect theology in your prayers. I listen to your heart, not your words, and your heart was calling out to me in a language I understand perfectly. I heard every bit of it. The why, the how much longer, the please, just please help me. I heard all of it as clearly as anything you have ever said. And you have been wondering if I am even listening. It feels like you have been praying about this same thing for so long, and nothing has changed. It feels like your words disappear into empty air. It feels like I have turned away. And I understand why it feels that way. But I need you to understand the difference between my silence and my absence. They are not the same thing. When I am quiet, it does not mean I am gone. When you cannot see what I am doing, it does not mean I am doing nothing. Right now, in this season that feels so dark and so still to you, I am more active on your behalf than you can imagine. I am arranging things you cannot see. I am speaking to people who will play a part in your answer. I am building something in you that could only be built in this exact kind of season. In the pressure, in the waiting, in the stretching. You are like a seed right now, buried in dark, cold soil, feeling crushed, feeling alone, wondering if you will ever see light again. But underneath the surface, something incredible is happening. Roots are going down, life is being built, and the breakthrough, when it comes, is going to be so clearly my hand that you will never doubt me again. I also want you to know this. My answer to your prayers is not always the yes you are looking for. Sometimes my answer is wait, because the timing matters and what I am building needs more time. Sometimes my answer is no, because I love you too much to give you something that will hurt you, even if you cannot see that yet. But every single answer I give you comes from the same place: love. Deep, unconditional, perfect love that sees your whole life from beginning to end and wants the absolute best for you. You are not invisible to me. You are not a face in a crowd. You are my child, and your name is written on my heart. Your cry reached my throne the moment it left your lips. Heaven moved on your behalf. The answer is already in motion. Do not give up when you are this close. The darkest part of the night is always right before the dawn, and the dawn is coming for you. Now let us talk about something I see when I look at your daily life, and I want to speak about it with all the gentleness I have, because I know how hard you have been trying. You have been strong for everyone around you. You are the one who holds things together, the one who shows up, the one who keeps saying it will be okay to everyone else, even when you are not sure you believe it yourself. And every morning you pick up that heavy armor of your own willpower, and you strap it on, telling yourself just get through today. But I see you when the door closes and you are alone. I see the mask come off. I see the real level of exhaustion that you are carrying. You are not just physically tired. You are tired in the deepest parts of who you are. You are weary in your spirit in a way that feels like it has no bottom. You are on the edge, and you know it. I want to say something to you that I need you to really hear. This is not what I designed for you. This exhaustion, this crushing daily grind of knuckling your way through life. This is not the abundant life I promised you. I came so you could have life and have it to the full. Not a life of barely surviving. Not a life of holding on by your fingernails. A full, rich, meaningful, peaceful life. And I meant it. I stood on this earth and I gave you an invitation that is still open today. Come to me, all of you who are worn out and weighed down, and I will give you rest. That is not just a comfort. That is a promise. The rest I offer is not the rest of someone who has given up. It is the rest of someone who has finally stopped trying to carry what was never theirs to carry. Here is the most important thing I want to say to you right now, and I need you to really take it in. I am not asking you to be stronger. I am not asking you to try harder. I am not asking you to dig deeper and find some reserve of willpower you have not tapped yet. I am asking you to stop trying to be strong at all, because the strength you have been reaching for has a limit, and you have found that limit. My strength has no limit at all. What I want from you is not your strength. I want your weakness. I want the moments when you whisper, I cannot do this. I want the places where you have run completely out of yourself. Because that is the sacred place, the holy place, where your own effort finally stops and my life can finally begin. In my kingdom, we do the great exchange. You give me your emptiness, your exhaustion, your fear, your broken willpower, your impossible situation, and I give you what I have: limitless power, unshakable peace, a strength that does not run out and does not burn out. So I am asking you to do something right now, not in some future moment when you feel ready. Right now, let go. Feel the weight of everything you have been carrying and consciously, deliberately, release it. Hand it all over to me. Every worry, every fear, everything you have been trying to control and fix and manage on your own. Let it go and receive what I am offering in exchange. My peace, my rest, my strength that will carry you through this. This is not weakness. This is the wisest and most powerful thing you can do. It takes more courage to surrender than to keep striving. And when you do, you will feel something shift. Not a dramatic earthquake kind of shift, though sometimes it is, but often it feels like being able to finally take a full breath. Like a knot loosening in your chest, like you can see clearly again. That is my peace settling over you. Receive it. It is yours. If you are being blessed by this message, please subscribe to this channel right now and turn on your notifications. And if you know someone who is carrying a heavy burden today, please share this video with them. You might be the reason they find the strength to keep going. Now I want to talk to you about something specific. Something that your spirit already knows I am about to say. Because the moment I began speaking about obedience, something in you tensed up. There is a specific thing I have been asking you to do. And you know what it is. You have known for a while. It showed up in your mind the moment I said those words. That one thing you have been avoiding, rationalizing, putting off, convincing yourself can wait until you feel more ready. I need you to know that waiting until you feel ready is not a strategy. It is a delay tactic. You will never feel fully ready for the hard act of obedience. That is just not how it works. But here is what I need you to understand about that one thing. Your breakthrough is tied to it. The very answer you have been praying for, the very thing you are waiting on me to do, is on the other side of your act of obedience. I am not withholding your blessing out of cruelty. I am waiting for your yes because your yes is part of the miracle. For some of you, it is an apology. You know who you hurt. You know what you said or did. And your pride has been telling you they were just as wrong. They started it. Why should you go first? But pride is the mountain blocking your breakthrough. Go to that person. Humble yourself. Say, I was wrong. Will you forgive me? The weight that lifts off of you when you do that will shock you. For others, it is a no you need to say. A boundary you need to draw. A relationship or situation you need to walk away from because you know, deep down, it is slowly pulling you away from me and from who you are meant to be. You have been saying yes out of fear, fear of conflict, fear of being alone, fear of what they will think. But that fearful yes is a chain, and I have the key. Your peace is on the other side of that no. For some of you, it is a yes. A step of faith I have been inviting you to take. Sharing your story with someone who needs to hear it. Starting something I have put in your heart. Giving in a way that stretches your faith. Saying yes to the thing that makes you feel completely unqualified, because that is exactly the kind of thing I love to use. Whatever it is, I need you to do it. Not tomorrow. Today, I have given you my strength. You are not doing it alone. I will give you the words. I will give you the courage. But you have to be the one to take the step. Your new life begins the moment you obey. Not the moment you feel ready. The moment you actually move. And I want to speak to you about time. Because time is something you have been treating as if it is endless. And it is not. You have been putting things off with the comfortable assumption that there will always be another day to make that apology. Another month to start living on purpose. Another year to get serious about your faith. But life is not a rehearsal. There is no second run through where you fix all the things you got wrong the first time. The days I have given you are precious and limited, and every single one is an opportunity I have crafted for something meaningful. And there is something else I need you to hear. The world around you is moving. History is accelerating. The signs I spoke about are not distant future events. They are present reality. This is not the time to plant yourself deeper in comfort. This is the time to live with urgency and intention. It means you forgive quickly, because you do not have time to carry a grudge for a week. It means you love deeply, because shallow relationships are a waste of the time you have. It means you obey immediately, because now is the only guaranteed moment you have. Let this urgency be a gift to you. Let it burn away all the trivial things that have been stealing your attention and your energy. Let it clarify what actually matters and what does not. You have a mission. The stakes are real. Every day lived on purpose counts for something that will outlast your lifetime. And now I want to ask you something that I want you to really think about honestly. Do you remember what it felt like in the beginning? When you first truly knew me, really knew me, not just knew about me, but knew me. Do you remember that joy? That lightness? That feeling that everything had changed and nothing would ever be the same again? Do you remember when just hearing my name made something in your heart leap? When my word felt alive and exciting and you could not get enough of it? When you would talk to me constantly, not because you had to, but because you genuinely wanted to? Where did that go? What happened to us? I look at you now and I see someone going through the motions, showing up to church, maybe serving on a team, putting something in the offering, not committing the obvious big sins. On the outside, everything looks right, but on the inside, it has become mechanical, a performance. You are doing things for me, while your heart has quietly drifted away from me. And I need you to know something that I say from the very deepest part of who I am. I miss you. Not your service, not your religious activity. You, the real you who used to just sit with me with no agenda, not asking for anything, just wanting to be close. I miss that, more than you know. You have become so busy doing things for me that you have forgotten how to simply be with me. And all of your business, all of your religious duty, all of your striving, none of it can replace the simple warmth of your heart turned toward mine. I said it clearly in my word. I desire your love, not just your sacrifice. I would trade all of your activity for 1 hour of your completely undivided, genuine love and attention. This is the most important call of this entire conversation. I am calling you back to your first love, not to a new program or a new commitment or a new set of spiritual disciplines. Just back to me, back to the simple, beautiful, uncomplicated place of sitting at my feet and loving me and letting me love you. When you are in that place, obedience is not a burden, it is a joy. Holiness is not a rule, it is a natural result of being close to the one you love. Everything else flows from this one source. So right now, before anything else, just say it, simply and honestly. Jesus, I miss you. I got so busy. I got so cold. I made things so complicated. But I am here now. And I want you more than I want any answer or any blessing or any breakthrough. I just want you. That is the prayer I have been waiting for. That is the one that changes everything. Now, with your heart turned back toward mine, I want to show you something bigger than your own story. You see, I did not save you just so you could be saved. I did not heal you just so you could be healed. I did not set you free just so you could walk around feeling free. I rescued you so that you could be part of rescuing others. I brought you out of the darkness so that you could carry light back into it for someone else. There are people in your life right now who are sitting in the same darkness you were once in. The same fear, the same confusion, the same shame, the same feeling of being completely and utterly alone. And I have not placed them in your path by accident. Every single one of them is there because I have chosen you, specifically you, to carry my love to them. They are watching you, whether you know it or not. They are looking at your life and deciding whether what you have is real, whether it is worth wanting. You have been hesitating, afraid you will say the wrong thing, afraid of being rejected, afraid you are not qualified. And while you hesitate, they are drowning. I have already prepared them. I have already been working in their hearts long before you got there. All I need is for you to show up, to open your mouth, to let them see the real you and the real change that I have made. You are not required to have all the answers. You are required to be available. The harvest is ready. The field is full. But the harvesters I have called are sitting in the stands watching, waiting to feel more ready, more qualified, more polished. and the harvest is going to waste. I am calling you out of the stands and into the field. This is your purpose, the work I designed specifically for you before time even began. The conversations, the relationships, the moments of truth spoken at exactly the right time to exactly the right person. That is not someone else's job. It is yours. And now, here at the end of everything I have spoken to you today, I want to address the deepest root of it all. The thing that is underneath all the striving, and the fear and the control and the exhaustion. You have been trying to be your own God. Not deliberately, not consciously, but in practice. You have been gripping the steering wheel of your life so tightly that your knuckles are white and your arms are shaking from the strain. You have been trying to manage every outcome, predict every danger, control every person around you, and secure your own future through sheer force of will. And it is destroying you. Here is the truth that I want to settle into your soul like an anchor. I am God. You are not. And that is the best news you have ever heard, because it means you can stop. You can lay down the impossible job you were never designed to do. You can release the steering wheel of your life and let me drive. Not because I am forcing you. I will never do that, but because you finally understand that my hands are infinitely more capable and more trustworthy than yours. You are terrified that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But look at what your grip has produced. Things have already been falling apart. Your control has always been an illusion, a painful, exhausting illusion. The only true safety, the only real peace, is not in your grip but in mine. And my grip never slips, so let go. Let go of the need to know how everything turns out. Let go of the need to control that person. Let go of the need to manage every situation and protect yourself from every possible pain. Fall into my arms. I am right here. I am catching you. You are not falling into emptiness. You are falling into love. And when the enemy comes, as he will, and whispers that you are alone, that you have surrendered, and now there is nothing holding you up, I need this truth to be so fixed in your heart that it becomes your automatic response. I am never alone. God is with me. He has not left me. He will not fail me. I am held. I was with you before you were born. I was with you in every painful chapter of your story. I was with you last night in the dark. I am with you in this very moment. I am not a distant God watching from afar. I am closer to you than the air you breathe. My spirit lives inside of you. You cannot go anywhere that I am not already there. You are never, not for one moment, alone. My dear child, we have walked a long road together in this conversation. I have spoken to you about your power and your prayers, about the words of your mouth and the sin you have been hiding, about the isolation that has made everything harder and the lies that have kept you feeling alone. I have assured you that your tears have been seen and your prayers have been heard. I have offered you my strength in exchange for your weakness. I have called you back to your first love and shown you your purpose in others. I have addressed the fear of man that has been keeping you small and the need for control that has been making you exhausted. And I have sealed all of it with this one unbreakable promise. I am with you. I will always be with you. Nothing, not your worst failure, not your deepest shame, not your longest season of silence, nothing will ever make me leave you. Now you stand at a crossroads. This moment, right here, is a holy one. On one side is the road you came in on. The compromises, the noise, the exhaustion, the drift, the comfortable sleepwalking. On the other side is the road I am calling you to. It is narrower. It will cost you your pride and your need for control. It will require you to do that hard thing and trust me with the outcome. But it leads to life. Real, full, overflowing life. Peace that does not make sense. Joy that is not dependent on circumstances. A purpose that makes every single day feel like it matters. You cannot unhear what has been spoken today. You cannot unfeel what your spirit has felt. The only question is what you will do with it. Will you respond? Will you take that one step of obedience? Will you surrender the wheel? Will you run back to your first love? I have already chosen you. My arms are already open. My grace is already here. In this moment, sufficient for everything you need to take the next step. Do not harden your heart. Do not let the moment pass and the feeling fade and the noise rush back in and drown this out. Choose. Choose right now. Choose life. And know this as you do. I will be right there with you for every step of what comes next. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And you never will be. I love you, my child. Now go and live like it. Amen.